Well, hello there, I'm back again with another update as promised in my last video. There would also be an update with a fair bit of UK releases, a couple of Japanese ones, one from Switzerland, one from the Netherlands, and tinges of France thrown in for good measure. Well, let's just get on with it. It's quite a stack here to go through, so I'll be whipping through. An exclaimer. I have noticed I'm not very good at describing the music on each album. I got to remind you I'm Norwegian, so my vocabulary is fairly limited when describing music, so I would certainly do a better job in Norwegian, but hey, who would understand? Well, enough about that. Go and check out the albums, which you find slightly interesting. But let's start, shall we? First off, Japan. A nice double set of the Taj Mahal Travelers. This is live at Moderna Museet in Stockholm, 1st and 9th of July 1971. And the Taj Mahal Travelers was an orchestra or band, I don't know what to call them, but certainly on the avant-garde side. Traditional instruments such as guitar, bass and drums, but also electric violin, harmonica, electric double bass, sun tool, bass tuba, timpani, synthesizer of course, mandolin, electronic technique, whatever that is. But this is, I wouldn't say a record you enjoy. This is a record which challenges you. It's certainly not for the background soundtrack. It's an acquired listen, and it forces you to sit down with it and soak it all up. Excellent avant-garde. I forgot to mention they also sing, but not in a traditional way. They use their voices as instruments in addition to all the other soundscapes. Another Taj Mahal Traveler. This is live from July 15th, 1972. I think it's an unofficial release on the Bamboo label, in the same vein as the 1971 concert. But if you find avant-garde music intriguing, certainly check out the Taj Mahal Travelers from Japan. All the way to Australia. I believe this is their second album, Buffalo, Volcanic Rock. Praised by many as a hard rocking down under band. I think their LPs are okay. This is the best one, I think, Volcanic Rock, and it's perhaps a 7 out of 10 for me. But this is a nice reissue, sadly on the Akama label, which is sort of dodgy when it comes to the rights. I know they get licenses for printing a certain number of records, but when the license is expired, they still keep on printing and pressing new issues. So sort of a grey area, but they do nice reissues, so when that's the only alternative, what can you do? One of my favorite guitar players from Andromeda, 5 Day Week Straw People, Atomic Rooster, hard stuff, and later on a solo career. This is his album, The World's Not Big Enough. I think it was It was recorded in 1977 and previously unreleased on vinyl. It was released on CD in 1992. I haven't split this one open yet, but I don't think it's the best John Dukan work, but certainly one of my favorite guitar players. So I'll look forward to spinning that. I don't know why, but I bought it anyway. I have an original, but whenever Gerson releases something good, I want it. So I bought a fresh reissue of Elmer Gantry's Velvet Opera. And one of the reasons is the booklet with pictures and bio. So always amazing sounding reissues from Gerson Records. I guess you know Elmer Gantry's Velvet Opera. British psych of the highest order. Robert Calvert was known for being a member of Hawkwind for a period, and he released a couple of solo albums. I think he had some mental problems. This is far out and quite funny listen, enjoyable listen. It's prog rock, it's sort of a story told throughout the record, and a bonus, Lemmy is on this album. So Robert Calvert, Captain Lockheed and the Starfighters. You know you're in for a treat with such a title. Something totally different in the stack. Recent reissue of The Damned second album, Music for Pleasure. Been enjoying their two first albums quite a bit lately, so I had to get this cheap reissue. The Damned, hey. A record store they released from, I think it was last autumn, 2021. One I didn't find at the time, but later. The Jimi Hendrix Experience, live at Olympia, Paris. This is a must-have if you're an Experience fan. Not the best sound quality, of course. It was recorded crudely for a radio broadcast. But hey, it's nice separation. You hear all the instruments. And this is early in Jimi Hendrix's career, when you clearly can hear his enthusiasm for playing those early numbers. And Stone Free, Hey Joe, Fire, Catfish Blues, The Wind Cries Mary, early version of Rock Me Baby, Red House, Purple Haze and Wild Thing. What's not to like? Excellent, excellent. No booklet, no insert, but the music's where it's at. So glad to add that to the collection. This has been released many times as bootlegs before, so great to have an official release. Another UK band which is hailed as psych and acid rock, and it's blues. It's straight up electric blues. It's not psych at all. Black Cat Bones, Sandwich, Barbed Wire Sandwich. It's good for what it is. If you know what you're getting into, if you like the late 60s British electric blues, this is an awesome album. But if you're going into this thinking it's a psych album, a psych monster, psych masterpiece, well, you'll be disappointed. Of course, the cover could be mistaken for a bit of psychedelia, but the contents are strictly blues. This is a Tapestry reissue. I won't shell out big bucks for an original, but a solid album if you are expecting blues, the blues. Had to buy this T2 It'll All Work Out in Boomland reissue on Ethelion, which I'm uncertain if it's an official. I am leaning towards an official reissue label, but this has a couple of excellent bonus tracks, questions and answers, and CD, both from BBC sessions in 1970. And I also have the T2 Morning or T2 1970 album somewhere, which doesn't sound as good. The versions on this one sounds better actually. And I have compared it to my original Decca UK issue, and this actually sounds on par with that UK original. So if you ever come across this one, buy it. It sounds magnificent. So Ethelian reissue from 2020, I think. T2, it'll work out in Boomland, and this is a magnificent British prog rock album from 1971. The Parlour Band, also hailed as progressive folk Grail. I think it's so-so. About half the songs are great, I think, or good anyway, and the rest are forgettable. But do check it out. The Parlour Band is a friend. But the originals are quite expensive, so I settled for this reissue. Next up, we are going to the Netherlands, and a record I have been wanting for a number of years, but it never turns up. It's not the most expensive record. It's a bit expensive, I'll admit it, but I have never seen it here. So I bought this Italian reissue, thinking it must sound very well, since that T2 issue on Ethelian sounded so good. And yeah, it sounded okay, and it has a couple of bonus tracks taken from their only single, I think. But then later I got the official reissue from Music on Vinyl and Universal Music, and this sounds far better than the Ethelian version. So if you find this one, go for the official reissue. It's on gold vinyl, seems a bit blingy to me for such a release, but this sounds magnificent. And who were Poog's Place? Did I mention the name? Poog's Place is the band name, and the album is called West One. They only released this studio album on Decca, a major label, and the year after they released a live album on a small-time independent label. But this is excellent, top-notch Dutch progressive rock, and they do a magnificent cover version of You Can Drive My Car by oh my god, I don't know Beatles titles. Drive My Car, yes, an excellent cover version. If you're not a Beatles fan, don't fret, don't fear, this sounds nothing like the Beatles. Excellent early progressive rock, a bit Jethro Tullish in places with flute, but wonderful, wonderful album. I recommend this one. But go for the official Music on Vinyl reissue, not the Ethelian. Argentina, and these are related to Pescado Rabioso, which I've shown before. Color Himano, this is their second album. I read online that they went into the studio and recorded enough material, I think, for 3 albums, so they're called Color Himano 2, which is this one, and then later 3, and I think they're all from the same session. Excellent, hard and heavy, bluesy prog rock from Argentina. Do check them out. Early 70s. Color Himano. Fantastic. Guitar oriented. I think they were a trio. Bass, guitar, vocals and drums. So power trio. A nice and welcome reissue. I don't know if it's for the first time. It says here on the... Does it say? Well, a fresh reissue of Orangutan, the British band which recorded this album, and without they knowing it, their manager went to USA and released the album without the band knowing, and renaming the band for this release Orangutan. That's anyway the way I have read it. If that's a myth, I don't know, but originals are scarce and quite expensive, so this summer reissue, Summer, which is a subsidiary of Gerson Records, high quality, excellent mastering, excellent pressing, hard and heavy, early hard and heavy rock from Britain. You can't go wrong. I guess you all know this one was released in the United States on the Bell Records. So glad to have a reissue, because I don't see too many orangutans around here. Another, I think this is an older record store day release, which I'm glad to finally get my hands on. I don't know when this was released through Record Store Day, if it was a couple of years ago, but it's Gong, live at Sheffield 1974, and my god, what a fantastic live album. They play from their classic albums, and it's the classic lineup with David Allen, Gilly Smith of course, Didier Malherbe, Tim Blake, Mike Howlett, Pierre Moulin, and of course Steve Hillage on the guitar. Double set, 3 of the sides are from the concert at Sheffield, and the 4th side I think is from Glastonbury in '89, which is sort of too new for me, but 3 of 4 sides, 10 out of 10 for me. Excellent sounding, taken from a mixing console recording I think, but it sounds balanced and excellent. So there you go, Gong live at Sheffield, and that's, by the way, the French alibi for this video. A couple of members who are from France. Vive la France! So, on to the original section. I don't think I have shown this before in my earlier update videos, but this is my favorite album by one of the longest running bands ever. I think they have given up now because the guitar player isn't able to play anymore. Golden Earring, and this is their 3rd, 4th, 5th album called 8 Miles High. And yes, they do a cover version of the Byrds' 8 Miles High, and it takes up all of side 2, and man, it's a fantastic heavy cover version. Excellent. This is hard and heavy, early progressive, psychedelic rock with some blues leanings here and there. My absolute favorite track from this one is Everyday's Torture, but all the songs are strong. Landing, Song of a Devil's Servant, One Huge Road, Everyday's Torture, and 8 Miles High. Fantastic. And this is the only album which has Zweb Warner on the drums. This is an original UK release. It was released on Polydor in the Netherlands, but on Major Minor, the same record company which released July, the Psych band. So nice, nice label there. So this is my favorite Golden Earring band, favorite Golden Earring record, not band. Great one. On to Switzerland, and one I have been wanting to get for a long time. Toad. Toad's first album, self-titled, from 1971. Hard and heavy, guitar heavy of course. Excellent drumming, excellent bass, fantastic vocals. I have no words actually. This is solid, except for one, the last track on first side, which is straight up blues. Okay, it's a good blues, but it sort of ruins the flow a little bit, but the rest is 10 out of 10. So fantastic. This is the original issue on Hallelujah Records from Switzerland. Needless to say, happy to have this one. And now a record I showed in Rachel's Ghost contest entry. A band which I can't praise enough, has connections to Velvet Fog from 1969, the Birmingham-based band which also had Tony Iommi in their lineup for a short while before recording their only album. Of course, Velvet Fog never happened, so they split up, and the guitar player, which I can never remember the name of, Paul Eastman, formed this band, The Ghost, another Birmingham outfit, and they recorded this album only, When You're Dead, 1 Second. Also released a couple of singles, I think tracks off of this LP. Fantastic mix of whimsical folk rock, hard rock, psych rock, and a bit of progressive leanings here and there. Just as I said in Rachel's Ghost contest video, a hodgepodge of everything from that time. This is released on Gemini, an original UK issue, which I'm quite happy to have. But this is also reissued and can be had for an affordable sum of money. Last up, one of the biggest grails for me, UK garagey psych rock. The best track isn't on the LP, but the LP is solid all the way through. The Open Mind, self-titled and only LP from 1969. Yes. I broke the bank and bought myself an original. Yes. Yes! This is awesome. This is an awesome album. I really dig it. Philips picked them up, gave them a contract for 1 LP. It's crudely recorded, sounds a bit scruffy and garagey, but they have pop psych sensibilities and garage rock sensibilities, and this is solid all the way. You know this album. It's been released by, is it Sundays or Sunbeam? Well, the best track, of course, is Magic Potion, which isn't on this one, but all the other tracks are solid. Not quite as good as Magic Potion, but up there. Fantastic. Thor, the Thunder of God. Perhaps not too exciting looking at a generic Philips label, but there's the proof, a UK original. Oh, I got to promise myself stop buying records for a long while. Well, that's the update for this time around. I have bought other records as well, but been filing them away since last autumn, but it was quite a good batch anyway. I hope you enjoyed these showings, and hopefully there was something new for you here to take away. Perhaps not, but anyway, thanks for stopping by, thanks for watching, and I appreciate all comments. And even though I am a slow responder, I will eventually get to you and your comments. So thanks. Bye for now.